Hi everyone, this is Scratchboard Art and Stuff, and I'm your host Bob Bickel. And I thought I'd start out this session showing you some of my scratchboard art. This happens to be a Jaguar, and all these will be in a clear plastic envelope. A lion, cheetah, a leopard, a setter puppy in a boot, Canada geese, now I'll go over some of your equipment. This is Ampersand's Scratchboard. This is a pack of 5x7 panels. There's 3 in this set. Comes in a shrink wrap with a label underneath. This is what it looks like unpackaged. It's a 5x7 panel. Scratchboard is on a masonite panel, and on top of the panel there's white absorbent clay, and on top of that there's black Indian ink. Ampersand offers clayboard, which this is, and a series of colored inks that you can apply to the clayboard in different colors. And when it's dried, you can scratch it and it'll come up white. I prefer the black myself because black and white, the contrast of the two, I find very pleasing. And one thing about scratchboard is you got to be very careful of this surface because it'll pick up your hand oils. So you must hold it by the outside edges and be very careful of that surface. Now some of the tools that you're going to be needing to do your scratchboard. This is an Exacto knife with a number 11 blade in it. This is a good starting tool for beginning scratchboard artists. You more or less do your scratching from the back of the blade in this direction. Now when this gets dull, and it will through practice, I have an India stone that I sharpen that tip with, and you scratch in this direction with that blade. Another item you'll need is a watercolor mop brush. This one happens to be 3/4 in diameter. It's watercolor. It's very soft. Hobby Lobby carries a watercolor mop brush about this size, so you may want to pick one of those up. But whatever brush you buy, it's got to be soft. Fine tip ballpoint pen. You're going to be needing this to transfer from your reference photograph or your reference material through your transfer paper and to the scratchboard surface. You need a fine point so you can transfer that line from the transfer paper surface to the scratchboard. And the beauty about the ballpoint pen, while you're drawing on that reference photograph, you can see where you've been. I've generated towards this, which is a sewing seam ripper. The point is sharp enough yet blunt that I can trace over that reference photograph and leave a very nice line on my scratchboard surface. It's blunt enough that it won't cut through to this surface. Now you'll need a sheet of white paper to go over this surface, so when you work on this and while you're scratching, you're not leaving your hand oils on top of this scratchboard surface. Another way is, I failed to mention this, another thing you're going to need is a kitchen towel. So when you develop all these shavings, you can brush your shavings out on the towel. In the past, I've made a bunch of scratching on this, and I collect on the surface, and I had to get them off. I would just blow them off, and they'd blow all over my table, and it got to be a mess. So I've generated towards a kitchen towel where when the shavings get quite thick on this, I'll take this outside and I'll shake it off. And when it gets dirty, I'll take it in and put it in the washer and wash it. Another item you're going to need is transfer paper, white in color. This is 8.5 by 11 sheets. Do not buy the kind that's got the crease in the middle, because that crease will show up on your scratchboard surface. Another item you'll need is a clipboard. You're going to see why in future videos. Another thing you may want to purchase is clear plastic envelopes to protect your work. They have these in Hobby Lobby, but not this particular size. But you need to get an envelope to protect these things. This is a scratchboard I started of a snow leopard. In future videos, I'll show you the step-by-step to finish this thing. What I wanted to do is to start the Scratchboard Art channel because there's very few scratchboard artists out there, and I thought I would show you how I go about doing scratchboard. And this was just an introductory, so you get to know me, and I can show you the proper tools to do scratchboard art. So until then, I'll leave you and hope to see you again. If you have any comments, I would appreciate them, good or bad. And if you think there's any other material I should cover in this series, please let me know. And until then, have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye now.